But are we going to pursue that, or are we going to feel bad about it to the point where we don't? To each of us, this is different.
And you think that's the main barrier?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Which is what? So that barrier of what?
Of feeling what is right and what's wrong and moving forward with it.
And how do you think that blocks people every day?
Are people afraid of the choice not to go to their 9-to-5 job? Of course.
Yes.
Because of what result produces, and that is...
Can't hear you.
I said people don't go to their 9-to-5 job because of what result it produces.
They're scared of it?
They're scared of the
Why?
result, which is...
No, this is a good point, dude. Why?
The result is that if we each, within ourselves, realize what a waste of time general work is, think about it. If we each as individuals walked out of our houses one day and looked at each other and were like, work's a waste of time, like general work is a waste of time, and reevaluated our way of what work is, then we would produce infinity.
If the world had a revolution, things would be a lot different?
Yes.
And you think that revolution comes from, or you speculate, you envision that the world would.
I believe
derive that from from realizing how from what the work physically produces in what aspect?
Do you go to your job to make food? Like, you go to your job to produce food for yourself?
I personally don't. No. Some people do, but no, I...
No, but I think what Jason's point was, and I've thought about it a lot, I feel like at this point in society, like, we're very close to being able to automate most everything. And even now, like, we have the resources that most everyone shouldn't have to work to some extent, and like be able to pursue.
So you mean in
crafts.
America?
The American dream.
Well, I'm saying to a point where, I guess once we get to a point where most jobs can be automated, then like you say, oh, maybe that's bad for the people who don't have a job. No, like those people being replaced are the people who, had like shitty jobs more or less that aren't really like that don't make you.
A machine could replace cooking your burger at Burger King?
I'm saying there's some jobs you still want some artisans cooking. Well, no,
so how many actually of these jobs do you think? Out of all the jobs that human beings occupy right now, what percentage could be automated?
If you were on par with what Alan was talking about, you would question.
Alan, this is Neil.
Neil.
Shut the fuck up.
They're the same. You would question the very job that you're performing.
And that's why I'm asking you this question.
Like, do you think this monotonous job you're performing over and over again...
Could a machine do what I do?
Beyond that, what...
No, that's the main
purpose does your actions...
To make the why...
You have a will.
Yes.
And you exercise that will moment to moment. What purpose does that serve when you enter clock in your job?
For me personally, they give me money to do it.
Right, that's the whole point. Yeah, that's my job.
Also, but hey, also outside of this, not having to do with me, that thing I make goes into another thing and makes it function.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to discount what you're doing.
Okay.
I love you. You're a contributing member of society.
No.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
I don't care about that.
I love you, but...
I don't care that it makes that other thing function. No, listen. Jason, question it. I don't care that it makes that other thing function. I've made things that I know won't function. And they pay me to do it. Okay? So that's me on my end. On the other end, most of the time I make things that do function. Most of the time, 99.999% of the time, I make things that do function. I'll take that back. I've never made anything that I know would fail because it goes to QC and it passes QC. So nothing I've ever made failed.
Do you take responsibility for what you're doing, though?
I don't.
That's what I'm trying to say.
In what sense, Jason? Jason, that's a good question. In what sense do you mean?
We all have a responsibility.
Do I take responsibility for what I have in the scope that it benefits me? Yes. I take responsibility for what I do in the scope that it will benefit me. It's just like, I do this, and I have responsibility that I do it in a way that will benefit me the most. It's like, I'm being lazy to myself if I don't engage a task in a way that I know will give me the greatest reward. It's like, you dig? And what does that have to do with morality? Does that have to do with all that sense? If I want it to, dude, like, what does fucking going to work have to do with any of that shit? Do you want money or not? That's what going to work has to do. Do you want to do the wrong thing? Talk to the guy across the fucking counter you're ordering the hamburger too nicer, dude.
Well, if we
fucking let the dude in who's trying to merge in the line. You shut the fuck up.
If we each, the four of us,
perform right or wrong, going to
develop
work.
a co-op,
go to work to make money.
Like if each of us perform a normal job, like societal job, like we each, you're a plumber, you're a machinist, you're a welder, I'm a
faggot,
another welder. We are all doing things that contribute to the overall society.
That's what we do now.
But then within ourselves, we choose.
That's what society is now. There's just a million different things and a million different jobs that everyone has to do, dude. Somebody's got to make those goddamn wires for the fucking to go out and do the thing. It's not like it's some super important job, but there's a million jobs like that, and they got to get done, and machines can't do them.
Think about it, though. Think about it like this.
Yeah, grains of sand.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
super
Think
deep,
about it like that.
dude. That's so deep. How grains of sand flow through our hands like insert subjective adjective. It's like, ain't it strange how sand is like time?
It is like that.
Ain't it strange how sand is like a faggot named Juice?
Indeed.
The whole point of what I was saying before, and it got terribly convoluted, but I'm saying there's a lot of jobs that...
From now on, I'm just be like...
oh, God!
Yeah.
Oh.
Ow, dude. I'll fucking punch you in the
I was
face.
thinking about what he said there.
Flame in my
That was deep stuff, man. I'm still trying to process all that.
No, what were you saying, though?
The whole point I was saying before is that a lot of jobs could be... At some point, even now, a lot of jobs could be automated.
More than are is what you're saying? More than are or many could? What does that mean? Many could, many are. So many more?
Many are, and many more could be.
What do you base that off of, really? Do you know that, Neil? Or,
Well, I'm saying,
I wouldn't go so far to make that statement. Because I don't know. Because I haven't done the research. Have you?
I'm saying there's many manufacturing jobs where people are just kind of putting together things that, people have already made that on a larger scale. When really, just with capitalism, you don't need 100 different types of everything. I'm saying if we got to a point where...
Well, using capitalism, you do need 100 different types.
I'm saying, right. That's why you need so many people making all these different products, because I guess you kind of need it, though. But I'm saying, I'm trying to say, if we could get to a point where a lot of things are automated, and instead people were pursuing their own crafts and trying to add to our scientific
that future is what everyone envisioned. I mean,
right,
I guess that
what he's trying to say is that people pursue
more so than that, but
yeah, whatever you wanted to.
That future, I would say, is what the society envisions. It's like, I mean, I don't know, with the history that we're taught, right? It's like with the history that's been taught to us, it's like, okay, things are the way they are now, and then you look back 10 years. 10 years before that, 10 years before that, everything moves towards a thing. Yeah. And when I look at that, what it would seem to move towards is, more people, I guess. Well, that's just in America, dude. That's just in America. Is that possible for everywhere? That's the dream.
Well, I'm saying just throughout
that's the ultimate thing. It's like, hopefully.
Pretty much like in the past, like your whole day was just...
Humans just exist for creativity and machines do the work for us.
Basically. Because in the past, all you did all day was just survive. Like, you had to spend more time washing everything, spend more time... All these tasks that we've automated.
I don't even think it's possible for, automation now, because a lot of people need the jobs. Without the jobs, a lot of people are just,
in theory,
that's what I'm saying.
In theory, the machines produce all the resources required for all the humans that live for doing nothing.
Well, that's... No, you wouldn't do nothing, but you pursue your own hobby. Whatever
or what?
You can add to
or
society.
what? What if you don't? What if you don't pursue the hobby?
I think that's cool.
That's what you have to do.
What if you don't?
Well, I guess then it'd be good if you did some kind of... There'd still be plenty of jobs that people would need to do to...
What if they don't do those?
Well, you'd be the same place you are now in society. Like, right? Like you.
Yeah.
So there would be homeless even in this.
Neil's assumption is that you want to produce something.
Yeah, everyone wants to see the human race get as far as they can. And,
Does everybody?
Well, he's under the assumption that yes.
That's the whole point of what I'm saying. If you got
to
that
you?
point.
It's good, but like with the current system, like
Yeah, I guess is that an assumption one needs to
A lot
make?
of people need money to even pursue their dreams or whatever creativity they have, and like to do those jobs. Like if everything's automated, they couldn't get those jobs anyway.
No, but the whole point
No,
is,
but
like,
if the automated jobs produced infinite resources for all living human beings.
It depends on like if this place, like this situation, like.
Well, no, I guess what you describe is it's like do the robots doing it? Do they replace the humans and the humans suffer, or do they? Yeah.
My thing is like if they don't have those jobs anymore, and like they don't need those jobs because
the machines give them shit for free.
They can pursue the creativity or whatever. Are they going to charge money for that creativity? How do we get from where we are now to that possible future to where, you know, I mean, even learning costs money. Like, everything costs money.
I'm like,
but
we're so focused on money. I mean, if there's like
money is a representation in theory of a resource. It's like so everything costs.
If we didn't need it, and then I would.
Okay, like in reality, like I speak to you, like I do this. It's like, what does that cost? In reality, everything starts with energy. Like everything costs energy, and then behind it, energy is sort of like physical resource. You know, like a container, like a barge full of like minerals, like being shipped across the sea or something. You know, that's like a physical thing happening. And then like, what is that? And then that's represented in money.
Yeah.
And then no. I'm leading. I'm like.
Wow, he's
And
just
then-
going
and then
over
people-
there now. He doesn't even want to do it by us anymore.
He's doing good. Yeah, that was his best one too. It was hard to see.
And then people need it.
What a man.
Well,
Loaded up this time.
well, Michael, like, how do we
These guys
get?
are all
how do we get-
philosophizing over there? I don't want to hang out around these.
How do
fucking
we get
assholes.
from here to where we are there, dude? Well, that's actually like
I mean, it's just.
that's almost like that's almost like the immediate question that like all these ridiculous discussions. You can't ask that for the discussion to even take place. Like, well, what do we need to do to get from where we are right now to there? Shut the fuck up. It's like, you know, it's like,
that's the whole thing, though. I mean, we're just assuming it's one way to where, like,
dude, looking at it like that, being realistic,
creativity
being really
does not
realistic
cost
like
money.
that. Well, no, of course it doesn't.
Because if
Well,
it
you
doesn't
know-
cost
you-
money, then I can see this happening.
you
but
know, you and I have an idea of what, right?
yeah.
But let's imagine waking up tomorrow and having that.
It doesn't cost money
Okay.
to be creative,
Well, basically,
even
what
now.
I'm saying is, just let me give you one example. Okay, so right now, at my current, the place I work, there's 5 of us, and right now, I'm pretty sure you could design a computer or a machine to do the work of four of us, basically, and there'd be one person
Could you?
managing the machine.
I used to think that. I used to think that about where I work, and now I don't think that it really is true.
Well, in my work, I'm sure. I know exactly, and I know everything that goes on.
How are you sure of it? Do you know that machines exist that do it?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
really?
machines that just do
Possibly,
exactly
How
what I'm
expensive
doing.
are they?
They're pretty expensive, but they pay for themselves. Like, the whole point is
Are you
it
sure?
would be worth it.
If that was true, why would they employ you?
Because they're actually working towards automation. Like, that's his next goal, but in order to do that...
So he
you
employs
need
you
to
for
hire-
now to get enough money to pay for a machine?
Well, he's been thinking about it for 3 years, apparently, and it sounds like it's too big of a jump. It would be a lot to explain. So my whole point is, in most jobs...
Would it be too much to explain?
In most... Well, in that, it's not worth going into why he... You know, why he's...
If it financially, that relates directly to what we're talking about. Actually.
Okay, it makes sense, because right now we're pretty swamped at work. Like, we're doing this one experiment over and over again for different drug companies, and they test their drugs with us. So right now, like, we have it. Basically, he would have to employ a couple more people to get it working, because right now it would be it would be many people's jobs to get it working, to be able to replace us.
Okay.
And right now he hasn't been able to. That's a good point. I think he will. He will do it. But the whole point is, I feel like in many companies, a lot of people could be replaced by machines.
Oh,
And
definitely.
if that was the case, ideally, if it was a just world, like there's enough resources for everybody, so those people that are
Are there?
replaced, I believe yes.
You believe that? Do you know that? Or are you convinced of that through?
Well, I'm saying like